Well, hello, it's Michael Wolf-Grafstein again for Functional Manual Therapy. Today I want to talk a little bit about our cells in our body, and I also want to talk a little bit about matrix repatterning. To begin with, to keep this example simple, I have chosen this cell that is kind of circular, or it's almost like a soccer ball, for example. I do know that in different parts of the body, cells take different shapes. But for our purpose today, we're looking at this cell as though it's like a soccer ball. So that being said, and with reference to matrix repatterning, we like to reshape the cells and get them back to their original shape, so to speak. So after years of impact, concussions, falls, motor vehicle collisions, and stuff like that, we find with impact to our cells over time as they change shape. So if you remember before I pressed my hand down, that the ball or the balloon was shaped like a cell, circular in nature. And we know within cells, they communicate within each of themselves, and they communicate to the next cell above, below, to the side, etc. So when there is a change in the cell shape, with inside the cell, communication gets blurred. The correct information is not necessarily communicated with inside the cell, nor is it communicated to the cell next to us. Now, one of the things that we do know is that science confirms that every cell in the body is connected to every other cell from head to toe, literally, by continuous material known as the extracellular matrix. So for demonstration purposes today, what I've done is I've taken this balloon, this nice round balloon, and I've covered it, as you can see, I have covered it with saran wrap to give you an idea. This is like the extracellular matrix. Now, we do know that the matrix is strong and it's flexible in structure, and it also appears to function as an intercellular communication network. In other words, it allows each cell to communicate to each other. We already know that cells communicate within themselves, but we also know that through the extracellular matrix, that cells can communicate to the one above, below, and beside, as I kind of previously mentioned before. However, if there's an interruption, that can affect things above and below. So as I had shown you before with the cell, if we take a look at it and we compress it, it has now changed its shape. So now this soccer ball, this original cell, is now like a football. And for example, it has difficulty communicating within itself and to the next cell above it. So to give you a better idea of what this looks like, we're going to take a look at another model. So here we have one cell, another cell, and another cell. And as you can see, covered, these cells are now all covered by the extracellular matrix, which is allowing communication between this cell to this cell to this cell. But what happens if we have many types of impact over time and there's a change in shape? Well, let's take a quick look and see what happens to this model of these cells. So as I compress, what you can see is there's a definite pull on the last cell in this. Now imagine, okay, here's the normal structure. We've compressed that cell. Look what's happened. There is now a drag. There is a pull. Now imagine if you've had many bruises or bumps to the shin. Well, that can translate to a restriction right to the neck or even to the head, possibly causing lack of range of motion at the neck or even headaches. This can happen. And I'm telling you this because one of the things that I have experienced as a matrix repatterning practitioner within doing my functional manual therapy is that when I treat people with concussions, one of the things that is very common is when I treat the shin or the femur, leg bone, etc., what I find within one treatment is we get an increased range of motion at the neck And many times we get a decrease in the headache that that person is having, and that's done without even treating the head or the neck. So remember, we are connected from head to toe. One cell connects to another. Think of it almost as if you were younger and maybe you were at camp and you played broken telephone line, where one person passes a message to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, and maybe somewhere along the line that message was broken or was incorrect. And when you get around to the original person, guess what? It's the wrong message. Well, this is very similar here with respect to cells and communicating with each other. If there's a change in shape, look what's happened here. There's now a drag. And this can happen again right from your shins to your neck and to your head. This is Michael Wolf-Grafstein for Functional Manual Therapy. If you'd like some more information with regards to matrix repatterning and how it affects the reshaping of cells, etc., you can visit my site at mikegrafstein.com, and you can learn more about how matrix repatterning may be able to help you if you've got chronic injuries that are still not resolved. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about concussions and give you a bit of a demonstration of what you may not see when you do get a concussion. Again, this is Michael Wolf-Grafstein, and I want to thank you for your time.